guys, it's Ian from Men America Prep. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Today I'm sitting in the back seat of my vehicle, and I'm going to be discussing different ways to secure your firearms while you are in or out of your vehicle. Now, being that I live in the state of Kansas, you can conceal or openly carry your firearms anywhere in your vehicle with one exception. That exception is being that if you do not have a concealed carry license, you cannot carry your firearm on your person in your vehicle concealed. So if you're out open carrying, hop in your vehicle and go, because if you have no intentions on concealing that firearm that's openly before, you're good to go. But also in your vehicle, you always want to tell a law enforcement officer if you get pulled over that you have a firearm on your person or in your vehicle at all times. Now, with that also being said, in the state of Kansas, with House Bill 2578 that was passed in 2014, private businesses are still allowed to post no gun signs. Now, the legal no gun sign that in the state of Kansas is a Beretta 92 with a red circle and a red slash through it. We've also got a no gun sign that has no open carrying allowed at this location. So if you just see a red Beretta 92 no gun sign with a red slash through it, that is the legal no gun sign that says there is no concealed or open carrying allowed in this establishment. Now, if you see a sign that says no open carrying, that it just means no open carry allowed, and you can still conceal firearms in there. Now, usually I shy away from supporting businesses who want to infringe on my Second Amendment rights and don't want to allow me to conceal a firearm. Now, also I wanted to add, with those no gun signs, the one that says no guns at all with the Beretta 92, you can still openly or can still carry a firearm in there. But if the owner or a manager or whoever asks you from that business, asks you to leave, and you do not leave, you can be charged with criminal trespass. If they do not ask you to leave, you are not required to leave. So, a lot of times when I'm in my vehicle, I usually have my firearm on my side or on my magnetic mount up in front, which I will show you after a while. But a lot of times if I go into those places, the place of business, which I really don't want to support, but I have to because it's either a function I'm going to or my job at that, which does not allow firearms, I want to make sure my firearm is secure when it's out of my control. And so I have a couple of security options to secure your firearm while you are in your vehicle. Security option number one for temporary use is your glove box. It's not my number one option to secure my firearm when I'm not in possession of it. But a glove box that has a key lock, as in does mine right here, which I just actually noticed, I've had this G for 7 months, is a good temporary option to secure a firearm. Say if you were going to a gas station that does not allow firearms, you can just throw it in your glove box, lock it, and go. Now, that is obviously not my number one. It shouldn't be anybody's number one if they cannot get a safe lockbox or whatever, but it will work. Now, also being said, I have two safe lockboxes back here. Now, this one is a safe lockbox from Stack-On that I actually just picked up yesterday, and I have mounted it to my vehicle. Now, I will show you this option. This is a key-coded lockbox from Stack-On. Now, that's just the piece of cardboard paper or whatever goes inside of it. Portable security case. You can see everything there. Low profile, secure, and key-coded. This thing is actually pretty nice. I'll take my serial number here off of it, so don't try to get it by any means. But anyways, this is how it is working for me. Right now, here's my Glock 19. Yes, it's unloaded, but the magazine's in it. A spare 15 round mag, and if I had to, I could put a 33 round mag into it, and it is a little tough to close because the memory foam, but it does close and it is secure. Now with this option, I can open it up here. I will put my magazine and my firearm up top. It is mounted to the transmission well here in the middle, the drive shaft and transmission well in the middle of my Jeep here, right by my cup holder in the back seat. It is mounted with 2-inch panhead screws, so they are the screw heads are flat on the bottom, and they are able to secure it down very well. Now, to get this down was a little hard because I had to go through the top carpet, and then the little foam carpet, and then like the heat resistor or whatever that's in the middle to prevent any excess heat. Kind of the reflector will keep it down. So anyways, this is very, very secure. I just lined it up and made sure that the lid did not scratch this. That's how close it is to it. It gets extremely close, and works out very well. Now, the seat actually makes sure that it doesn't fall over for now, because I had actually moved the seat back, but this lid will actually go ahead and flop all the way over if the seat is moved up another 1.5 to 2 inches. So that is one option for securing a firearm. Now, the one con to this, the way I have it mounted right now, is the fact that it's out in the open, and yes, a person could, if I did not have it covered, a person could see it through the window. But once again, if I had the keys out and not in the vehicle, which would be stupid to do, it would be kind of tough to do this because those screws are tapped into the metal frame of the vehicle. Now, my next option here is a Bulldog case. Now, this is the Bulldog case that I picked up at Cabela's many years ago. This is obviously a car vault that you can mount permanently in your vehicle, such as the stack-on one. Now, this one actually has a mount on the outside. This is what you mount through. So you see these these 6 holes here. They're on the opposite side. There are 6 holes where you can take and say mount it underneath a seat like this, and simply just have some flat or beveled screws, set it in there, and then your safe can go in and out like so, and it cannot be cut open or anything. So say if the way I have it mounted now, this is just basically a little defense mechanism. If I have this safe actually in there, I had the cable in there, and so they could cut the cable, because these security cables really don't do much for anybody who has intentions to get a firearm out, but without a hammer or anything, this little edge here cannot be just pulled apart and good to go. So they will have a little bit of a rough and tough time to get it out. Like I said, as you can see, this is very loose and just sitting around, but it is tucked away. If you tuck it away underneath your seat, you can't really see it, and I usually put, say, like this here. I'll just kind of shove that there, and it looks like somebody's just a really messy person and has junk in their vehicle. And it's way past winter time, you don't need that stocking cap. But anyways, this case works really good for most firearms. It is a little smaller and has some kind of it's a plastic liner with like a felt backing on it, and it fits the Glock 19. It's a little tough, as you can see there. It's a little tight, very formed, and a spare mag. That's about all the room you have. So it does work very well, but I do not prefer this method anymore unless it has this outer frame completely secured down to the vehicle. So in my temporary time, I just had it, cable locked, the box locked, and then in this case. And as you can see, this little ledge here, when it's locked, the locking mechanism comes up and through that slot, and then locked underneath here, and so it cannot be pulled out. Now, I'll show you my next way to carry my firearm when I'm in the front seat. Alright guys, so this is my last in-car, off-the-body carry holster option. Often after a day of open carrying or concealed carrying, a firearm can start to bite into you a little bit, get uncomfortable depending on whatever your attire is. And so I have put this fast draw magnetic holster on here. I actually picked this up about 3 or 4 years ago now at a gun show, and I've had it in my house for probably the last 2 years as a table-mounted holster for my firearm next to my bed. I decided to go and buy some other holsters, so I dismounted this one from my house and put it in my vehicle for this reason. Now, I see a lot of people actually taking actual like paddle holsters without retention devices, thumb brakes or finger brakes or anything, and putting them in their vehicle, physical holsters. And also that goes for those ones that go underneath your steering column. But that really just seems to be a an open invitation for a criminal who can look in your window and see, hey, this person has a holster and there might be a gun in there. Now, if somebody sees this magnetic holster without a firearm obviously on it, when I'm not in attendance to this vehicle, they'll just see it and they probably won't realize, hey, might be a firearm or whatever the case may be. Excuse me. And so, with that being said, I have this sitting here. I have done tests from about 65 to 70 miles an hour, going from, on a clear open road, obviously, going from that speed down to 0, and this firearm stays right there. Now, if this firearm were not to be able to stay right there, I have on it a homemade Kydex trigger guard that is held on by a piece of paracord here. This is often sold as the MIC holster. Online, there's a company who makes these MIC holsters for Glocks and whatever I guess you can think of, but this is how I set it up, and I went ahead and made my own. These are often made for like Mexican carry, or inside the waistband, at the appendix carry. Those who like to do that want to make sure their Glocks are obviously covered up pretty well because they don't want their junk shut off. This holster also serves as a like I said, a trigger guard, but an actual holster for the gun. It keeps it there very retained, and it's good to go. But in the case I need it, it's simply just dismounting it from the magnet, and I can pull up, and I can present my firearm wherever I need to, whenever I need to. Now, with that also being said, I have another holster over here which I have made with a heat shrink and Kydex on the bottom. This is a 25-pound magnet. It holds a spare magazine, a pocket knife, or whatever magnetic option you have very well. So, like I said, I have the glove box option here in front, 2 lock boxes in the back, and then this magnetic holster in the front for off the body and the vehicle carry. So once again, this is Ian from Mid-America Prep. Thanks for tuning in and watching. You guys, be safe.